Everyone. Just hit record, which I knew I was going to forget to do and then did. Let me just let in a few latecomers. Welcome, welcome. Thank you very much for coming along to be a part of this evening. I thought that I would just start by explaining to you how my mediumship works, because for those of you that have seen other mediums, every medium works differently. The first thing I ask, please, if you could just keep yourselves on mute, that would be really great for me. If you could please try and find the raise hand on your device before we get started, that will really help, because unfortunately the person that was going to chair for me this evening has got internet problems, and so it has been unable to turn up, so I've got to do it by myself. Well done, Ashley. That's what we're looking for. Good girl. Fantastic. So welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming along to be a part of tonight. I'm really, really excited to be working with you all in this way. Now, one of the things that I always like to start off by explaining is that your loved ones in the spirit world no longer have a voice box, which sounds really obvious when we think about it, but a lot of us have grown up, as I did, watching Medium, Ghost Whisperer, TV shows, Sixth Sense, where they are talking to the spirit world. So they are speaking and the spirit world is speaking back, and we can get these amazing specifics. And I wish that it worked like that, but it doesn't. So if on your intention setting for this evening, you were saying to your loved ones in spirit, please come through. But if you come through, I'm going to need you to say purple banana hammock. Otherwise, I'm not going to take you. That would work if spirit was speaking to me, but they're not. They're sending me an energy. So mediumship is always an experiment. We don't know how it's going to work, and my mediumship never works the same. It's different every time. So we have to just work in this kind of experimental state. Now, what I will say with that is it should be specific enough for it to be true. I don't want you to, I'm not going to open up and have a male energy here. Can anybody take that? We're going to be more specific than that, but it just might not be exactly what you're expecting. So please don't hold me hostage. Don't sit there going, oh, I'm going to put my hand up only if she says purple banana hammock, and we're all just waiting for it. And then at the end you go, oh, that could have been for me, because I won't be able to get them back. I will do my best to place them, but I'm going to need you guys to work with me. Does that make sense? Excellent. When I am opening up to the spirit world, I will give enough information that I feel personally it's specific enough to be able to offer it out. And then I will ask you to please use that raise hand function on your device. If I end up with loads of you, it means I've not done my job very well, and we'll have to go back and get some more evidence until we've got one or two of you, and we will work that way. When you work with me, I will ask you to please come off mute, and then I will talk to you, and your voice will really help me. So please try and respond. I know that it's nerve-wracking when you've got a room full of faces on Zoom looking back at you, but I do need your voice and I do need your response. When you are responding, please don't try and tell me too much. So don't go, oh yeah, well that was my Aunt Hannah and she lived in Canada and she died of cancer and she had 4 children, because you've done my job for me. That's no good either. So just yes, no, maybe, not sure, and we will work together. I'm not afraid of no's. If it's not right, you've got to tell me the truth. I once went with a friend of mine to see a medium, and a couple came through and she was going, yes. Yes. And I thought, bloody hell, this is amazing. She'd got like 15 yeses back to back. And we got in the car and I went, who was that, Linda? And she went, I've got no idea. So she just said yeses all the way through because she felt awkward. People do, but I need you to say no if it's not right, because I will have got something wrong. Spirit are never wrong, that I will need to correct, or I'm not supposed to be with you. And there's somebody else there who this message is for. All good? Ready to give it a go? It's so weird. I've done so many in-person demonstrations. It's so weird having a silent sea of faces, not making them make a noise. I'm normally trying to warm everyone up and getting them to answer. Okie dokes. Let me just move my mind to spirit then, and we will see who steps forward. Okay, I'm aware of a gentleman stepping forward with me here, and he feels like granddad, but I want to talk about him being particularly close to you. So he would move into a dad category. So this means that he would have looked after you for a period of your life or have a very, very close, unusually close relationship with you. It feels like he is responsible for you. Now, when I see him standing here, I want to talk about his naughtiness, his personality. He's got a lot of fun in him. He likes to not take life too seriously is how he's showing it to me. And every time I see him, he is stood outside. So I know that gardening, working in his garden is very important to him, but I also feel that he's got some sort of workshop or man space where he's also pottering around that feels really important to him. Now, when I see him stood alone, and not because he is alone in the spirit world, so please don't freak out. But I do feel that his wife would have moved into spirit quite some time before him. So it feels like he spent a large period on his own, but he didn't want anyone to make a fuss. He didn't want anyone to make a fuss about him. I'm also aware of some pain in his feet or his right leg. I'm not sure where I'm getting that in my body. There's some sort of discomfort there. But again, you can see him hobbling, but he doesn't want to make a fuss. He's quite stubborn and he wants to keep going, keep going, keep going. He doesn't want people to pander to him. That said, I do feel like the family had to rally around him, but you had to do it kind of subtly because he's so determined to be independent. Now, I see that Lee has already raised her hand. Lee, if you could come off mute for me here.
Hi.
Hi. Hi. Do you understand everything I've said?
Yeah, I do. I really do.
Wow, that was efficient, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So this would be granddad to you.
Yeah, yeah, but more
Yeah,
like dad. Hmm.
more like dad. Yeah, there's this really close bond. And you understand this kind of goes to the beat of his own drum, will not do anything that anybody else tells him. Yeah,
Absolutely.
good, good. And did he have some problem with his leg or his foot?
Yep, yep, he absolutely did.
Good, good, good. That was easy, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Fantastic. So I could see him coming in, and I just know that he has got this. If I came in and gave you this big outpouring of emotion, you'd go, well, he kind of steered away from emotion, but you knew how he felt about you, didn't you?
yeah,
Because there's something very special in your relationship with him. And I think you're one of the few people that was actually able to get that side of him out. Does that make
you
sense?
you are absolutely spot on, Hannah. Spot on.
Good.
Yeah,
Because he's just making me feel this. I wouldn't have messed around with any of that feelings rubbish. Oh, except for Lee.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
there's this real softness. You're the apple of his eye. And you knew that. And he still continues to bring that energy with you. It feels really, really strong here that he's wanting you to know he's still around. Now, for all of his joking and silliness and not taking things too seriously, doing things his own way, I do want to talk about him having real morals or a real sort of, it's like he's got his rule book of how things should be done and they
yeah.
must be done. And he's just wanting to talk to me here about being incredibly proud of you because you've really tried to live your life in a way that would make him proud. And I feel like that's an answer to a question from you there. Are you proud of me? Yes, he is. He's answering you. He wants you to know that he sees you and he knows how hard you try. That feels really important to him. He's also showing me, very interestingly, it's like a scrappy piece of lined paper that he's got that he's wanting you to know that he's got. Did you write him a note when you were younger? Do you know, Lee?
I was always writing him things, so
Okay.
that's a yes, but I can't think of the specific one, perhaps.
Okay, it's just like he wants you to know that he's kept it. It's like it's been in his wallet for years and
Oh,
years and years.
yes, yes, yes. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Uh-huh.
Good, because I just feel
Yeah.
like he's shown me in spirit. He's still got it. He wants you to know
Oh,
he's
wow.
still got it. It's still important to him. And it feels like it's sort of squished and soft and falling apart, but he's kept it because he loves you so. He
Oh,
loves
I
you
love him.
so. Um, Right, now let me talk to him about what he's wanting to show you. Does he have a daughter in spirit as well, Lee?
Yes, my mom.
Okay, because he's also making me feel that he's needing you to know that she's with him, that they are together. So this feels very, very important. There's this, don't you worry, I'm the spokesperson, but we're all here. We're all here, and we want you to know that we're with you. There's
Wow.
a real sense of cheering you on. I just want to acknowledge the difficulties. It feels like it's been really bloody tough and quite lonely and arduous. And this is why
Times.
they come forward so strongly, because they want you to know that, yeah, it has been tough, but you're getting yourself through it. You always say, I don't think I can, and then you do. And they continue to bring that beautiful support and energy with you. They are cheering you on. And he's just acknowledging you are right, better times ahead. So please know that there is more to come. It is lifting, and you are so loved, so supported, and they are all so proud of you. Thank you
So
very much.
wonderful. Thank you, Hannah. That means so
No
much.
worries.
Thank
Good.
you.
I'm really glad. He was so clear.
That's wonderful
That's
because he's not long
good.
past either. So yeah, I'm proud of him for doing that. And he was a big
Good.
spiritualist as well. So that's wonderful.
That's
Yeah.
why he's so clear then. If you get
Yes.
someone that's worked in mediumship, they know how it works. So it makes it so much easier.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Thank you,
So
Hannah.
glad. No worries, Lee. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see who else is going to step forward here. Okay. I feel that I have a daughter here, and I'm fighting it a little bit because I'm a little bit confused about her age, because she's presenting, I think, younger than she was when she passed. So I want to talk here about somebody that passes late teens, possibly early 20s, something like that. But for some reason, she's presenting as a little girl, but I feel that she was older when she passed. So we're going to work with it and we'll see how it unfolds. Okay. And I am aware with her that she is responsible for her passing. So I need to acknowledge here, I think that's why she's coming in younger, because there's like before the troubles is how I want to phrase it. So there is her when she is younger, and she's this sunshiny, bubbly, spinning, dancing, charming, funny. And then it just feels like there's a real, real struggle that I need to acknowledge here with mental health. So it feels like this illness robs you of your daughter, um, ultimately, but also before her actual passing, there's this real difficulty. There's this real difficult time that I want to talk about here. Now, I do feel that she is making me aware that she has siblings that are still here on the earth plane, because there's a feeling of still being around the family. So I think, forgive me if I'm wrong, that she's one of three. And I feel that she's wanting to acknowledge being around, being still with the family. And there's a real feeling here of not meaning to cause the damage and the upset and the heartbreak that she has caused. There's a real, it's terribly sad because she was really struggling. And I can see that struggle, I can see that difficulty, but I can also see the fallout. And I know how terrible this has been for everybody. Now, she shows me this sadness. Yeah, there's like a before she became unwell, this joyous, this fun. I can see her, for some reason she keeps showing me like twirling in a garden. So I don't know if that's a memory you've got of her or a video you've got of her, something like that, where she is spinning, and this joy of watching her and being with her versus how it ended up feels like just worlds apart. But I also want to talk about her I feel like she's already apologized to you. This will not be your first experience with her. Who am I with? Who recognizes this lovely girl here? Anyone understand if I've got something slightly off? Okay, Jamie. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Jamie. Hi.
What's holding me back is she's not family. So I
Okay.
wouldn't feel that I was that close. However, if someone else can, yeah, I heard another sound, so maybe Brittany can take her.
Okay, we'll have a look. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Brittany?
I don't know because she wouldn't be my daughter. She would be my sister. But we have
Okay.
more siblings, but in my household there is 3.
Okay. Okay, bear with me one sec. Let me just feel back into this. Still really getting daughter energy. I'm still really getting, it's like she's trying to, so bear with me, Brittany, because it doesn't mean it's not you. It just might be that she is really trying to get a message to your mum or trying to show me something to do with mother-daughter, because I just keep feeling daughter relationship really strongly. So Brittany, you understand a fun-filled child who's full of joy. Can I just take you off mute, please, lovely, so I can get your voice, because it just helps me with my connection.
Sorry.
So you understand there's like a before and an after. There's a real battle with mental health that changes her completely.
That and then other stuff with that.
Okay.
Yes. But like
Because
she
I
had an
just,
amazing, happy childhood.
yeah, it feels like it's all really, really joyful until we get sort of mid-teens, and then it just goes absolutely downhill off the rails. And it feels like it's nothing to do with the family, it's to do with her journey and where she ends up going. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
And
still
am I
not like
correct?
1000% if it's her, but keep going.
Okay, well, bear with me. Okay,
Yeah.
so would you understand, does she fall in with a difficult crowd or some bad influences, Brittany? Because I feel like I want to talk about this too. Is there drug use involved?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I feel like I want to acknowledge it feels like there's mental health issues,
Yep.
depression, really difficult times. But I also want to talk about it's it does feel like she falls in with the wrong crowd, which is a very simplistic way of putting it. She goes off the rails. You understand?
Yes.
Okay. Because there's this uncontrollable aspect that she's making me feel here, where people would have tried to get her to stop. They would have tried to get her to make better choices. And she's wild. She is off doing what she wants to do. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Do you understand a gathering? Like, would she go off in people's cars or lots of cars gathering? Because I just keep seeing like a load of, yeah, like a meeting of cars. Do you understand this?
I don't know about cars now.
Okay. It's like she's gone out all night and she's in other people's cars and they're driving her around,
I
and there's
mean, I
lots
could
of this.
see, she would like be in different people's cars, but I don't know, like a car meetup is what I'm thinking maybe, but no, not for
Okay.
that, but I could see her hopping into people's cars and partying or whatever.
Like being out all night and no one knows where she is and if she's safe, and she's just off doing what she's doing. Um, it wouldn't surprise me if you end up finding out some way, in the way that spirit do, that she ends up, because I keep seeing, and I've never seen Fast and Furious, but I keep seeing signs that make me feel like Fast and Furious. So like cars racing, like being really just
Before
wild.
not like a little bit before she passed, a couple months, she was in a car that was very unsafe like that.
Okay. Okay. I knew there was a reason I was seeing Fast and Furious scenes from trailers, not that I've even watched the film. So, okay. Let me just feel into this. Right. She has come through before. Is that right, Brittany? You've heard from her before. Yeah. Because I feel like she's come through. apologized. She's let you guys know that she was loved, she was supported, and this was all her choice, because I feel like this is the conversation, like, what could we have done differently? And there's an acknowledgement from her of how much you all gave and how much you tried to support her. Am I right that you've got at least one brother, Brittany?
Yes.
Yeah. Is one of your brothers really having a difficult time or struggling in some way?
With her passing,
Just generally.
the one I mean, I talked to him, but I'm not that close to him. But I think you're talking about my twin brother, and I feel like he still hasn't like grieved her.
Okay. Because I just feel like she's wanting to bring in this support for him. She's wanting you to, like, when I say, well, okay, you've been in before, you've said what you wanted to say, Brittany knows you're there and you're working with her and you two are chatting, so I know the lines of communication are open and good. So, you know, why are you coming in? And there's a real feeling of it's like he's brave facing. It's like she needs you to know that all is not well. It feels like it's important for her to let you know that he's struggling, because he hides things very, very well and he turns away from emotional stuff. It's not particularly comfortable for him. So she's just wanting to sort of give you that nudge of thoughts you've already had, but just, yeah, you're right. It's not good. Please check in on him. But it also feels like he's got a big wall built up inside of him. So you're going to feel like you're banging your head against it. But there's nothing like homework from spirit just to make you bang your head against an energetic brick wall repeatedly. So please know that that is where she is with you. Have you had a tattoo in memory of her?
Yes. We have
Okay, good.
matching tattoos.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Good. She was just making me aware. Is it one here? Is it that one
Oh
that just
my
popped in?
God. It's this one here. Wait, it's gonna be
Okay,
upside
amazing,
down,
good.
but it's the girl with the balloon. You see her?
Amazing, good, because I just felt it right on my arm, so I knew that
I
that
literally
was
just said that, Hannah. I was like in my head, like Sarah, like tattoo, boom. Because I
good.
am working on the mediumship and I do communicate with her a bit. And then you were talking about like daughter stuff. So I always treated her like my baby, like she was my daughter, and I could not wait for her to grow up. And then after she passed, I had a surprise pregnancy, and she talks about my daughter a lot. Like when I do other mediumship stuff, it's so when you were talking about daughter stuff, I was like, maybe she's talking about her and or the relationship I had with her.
Amazing. Okay, she really did bring in. It was daughter energy. She was bringing. I couldn't change it. I'm normally pretty good with my relationships, and it really felt like this kind of you were guiding me, and I'm sorry that it wasn't enough. I'm sorry that I didn't let you help me, even though you tried to, because I know that everybody tried, and that feels really, really important to say. Right, there is, you know it because she's already told you, but she wants to reiterate it publicly. So this is fun, isn't it? She's been pushing you forward. I think there's some big steps coming up for you in your mediumship where you're going to be really brave and stepping up and stepping forward. You don't have a choice, is how she makes me feel. So she's going to be pushing you forcibly along that path a little bit more. So please be ready, because you know it's coming and you know you're getting the call to be big and brave. So step out and know that she is with you.
I was at work yesterday and her and some other people. I'm starting to get more visions of like different people or spirits like that I've never in my life had. Like a whole bunch of cold air walking behind me, or this Indian woman kept popping up in my head, and then my sister just pops in my head. Oh no.
Good.
Okay. Sorry, a phone call came in. But yeah,
Oh, how fun. It's typical.
It's getting stronger and I'm enjoying it for sure.
Good.
It's a little scary, but it's fun.
It's the best thing you'll ever do. Good,
Yeah.
good. Enjoy. Thank you very much for working with me.
Thank you.
Lovely. There we go. Right. Let's see who else is going to come in. Right. I have got she feels like mum, but she also feels like wife coming in here. So again, obviously we're having one of those nights with relationships. I really want to acknowledge this incredibly warm lady for whom nothing was too much trouble. She feels like a really kind and caring, gentle soul who just wanted to nurture everybody and look after them. And it feels like this absolutely debilitating loss. I want to talk about her passing with cancer. I feel like she had a bit of a battle with cancer. She tried to stay, she didn't want to go, but there is this feeling of it being found too late. And I do feel like this ties in with her personality of not wanting to make a fuss, because she is so gentle and warm and loving. She's really, really loving. I feel like she's got this it's almost like she wears a uniform. I want to talk about her wearing very similar style clothes every single day. I feel like when you had to go through her clothes after she passed, there would have been like a collection of blouses and a collection of skirts, is how I'm seeing it. So I feel like she had lots and lots and lots of the very similar. I don't think a man would be able to tell them apart. A woman would. There's a lot of bit casual sexism for you there. But I feel like she's got that kind of, she always wears very, very similar looking clothes all the time. I want to talk, I don't know why I'm having feet problems today, but I want to talk here about her having some, she had to have special shoes for some reason, because of her feet. I think there's some sort of discomfort in her feet. And I want to say that she just wanted to be comfy. She is a lady that prioritizes comfy. That doesn't mean she looks bad, and I'm not saying that she's not a beautiful lady, but I just mean that she is more into the comfy stuff than she is worried about being stylish. Because she's really showing me a pair of slippers as well that I need to acknowledge, that it's all just very comfy and it feels really, really nice, and I want to acknowledge that. Now, she is making me very aware of, I think she's a homemaker. I feel like that is the majority of her life, is spent caring for the family, looking after people. If she did work, I feel that she would have worked in that kind of environment. So I don't know if she was a cleaner or something like that, but I feel like she's just there with good grace. She loves to clean things. She loves to get it all spick and span. She loves to be preparing food for people. This is her special time. This is what she enjoyed doing. And I know that she's got an incredible collection of Tupperware that I can see there. So I know that she, when you're opening the cupboard, there is so much Tupperware in there, so many different things. I don't know if it's all got lids, because that would be magical, but I can see that she's kept it all. There is just this feeling with her of love. She wanted to love everybody. And in that, I also need to acknowledge, I do feel like this is a lady with faith. I don't know if it's religious faith or just faith that it wasn't going to be forever, but there's a real feeling when she moves into spirit of not being afraid, of knowing she's going to be reunited, and that feels very important. And I'm also seeing a connection with a bird visiting, which is one of your signs that she's around. So who am I with? Who recognizes this lovely lady here? Okay, let me just go through it and double check everything I've got. So I've got this really traditional, wonderful woman here who I know took real pride in looking after the family home and providing for everybody. This feels like an intrinsic part of her reason for being. She wanted to take care of everybody. She wanted to love them. She's got a really, really warm feeling around her. She's very loving, very thoughtful, very caring. And I do feel that she was married for many, many years, and it was a very traditional relationship. So forgive me if I've got the relationship wrong and this is actually grandparents, but I do need to acknowledge here this long-term relationship. She's an older lady. I know that she's bloused and skirted. I know that she's shown me a ring, so a ring of hers would have been passed on that you would have. I want to talk about her really always worrying about everybody else, always wanting everybody else to be good, everybody else to be okay. And this feels really important because I have to acknowledge when she is diagnosed, there is this sense of, surely you had symptoms before now, and her being like, well, yeah, I did, but I wanted to look after everybody else. It's almost like she's ignored what's going on with her because she wanted to take care of everybody else. So there's this cozy feeling that she brings. It's okay. Oh, Catherine. Okay, let me just get you unmuted.
Hi, Hannah.
Hi, Catherine. And Rebecca. Okay, right, we're getting there. Catherine, do you understand everything? Is there something I've got wrong for you?
If I go for the bits that stand out that I could take, when you suddenly said grandmother, I was like, ooh, I'm looking at it in a different perspective. The skirts and the blouses I can definitely take. The Tupperware I could probably take, actually. Looking after everybody, organizing, liking things to be neat. I can't take the cancer, but I can take an illness where she perhaps tried to hide symptoms.
Okay. Bear with me 1 second. Let me get Rebecca unmuted. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi. Okay,
Hi.
so I can understand from my nan, she had cancer. I can understand what you're saying about slippers related to her needing some sort of special shoe, and then you said slippers because for comfort and her feet. And she was a cleaner at one point in her life. And she was also a cook at one point in her life. But I
Okay.
can't understand necessarily the rest of it in exactly the way you said it, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Bear with me 1 sec. We've got someone else who's put a hand up now, so I haven't done my job very well, have I? Let me just bear with me. Thanks, Kayla. I'm just going to get a little bit more so I can work out who I'm still with. So if you three ladies could listen, and then if it doesn't make sense, you can put your hands down. So, right, real matriarchic energy really, really keeps all the family in tow. I feel like this is really, really important with her. And I do want to say that she was either one of many children or had many children. I can't quite work out where it is on the family tree. So she would have had at least 4 siblings or 4 children of her own. So I need to acknowledge that. I feel like she's taken me back to the ring. You would still have her ring that was left to you, because that is important to acknowledge. And I do want to talk about, I risk of being really rude to her, bunions or something like that. I feel like there's something going on with her feet where it is uncomfortable. I need to talk about this wardrobe of clothes that is left, which is all very samey. That feels very, very important. And again, the cooking, the cleaning, this feels important with her. Brittany, you've already had a message, so spirit won't do that to me, but thank you very much. So, Catherine, you still with me?
Yes.
Okay.
With I can definitely take the feet because it's prompted a memory link that she took me to a podiatrist at some point when I was a child. So
Okay, amazing, good. So the feet are important. Let me just feel into this and you understand her being, family being everything to her. It's so important to her.
she had 5 children.
Okay, good, because I knew this was really, really important. I needed to acknowledge her. It's everything. This is the most important thing, is that everybody else is okay. I want to talk here about her. Did she do cross stitch?
She did a lot of embroidery stuff. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Because I could just see her. And have you got some of her stuff that she did?
Yeah, she made little rugs for my doll's house beautifully, like a little lion, no, a tiger skin rug. It was amazing.
Oh, wow. How lovely. Okay, good. Because I could see her doing that, and I knew it wasn't just sewing, it was more important than that. Okay. And also, you've got birthday cards that she wrote you've kept, because you've got her handwriting.
There is potentially with my mother, we have kept some I have her recipe book.
Oh, have you? Amazing.
All
Okay.
handwriting. So
Fantastic. This is definitely a greetings card because I can see flowers on the front of it. So that might be a little bit of homework for you, because it's not got recipes on it. It's got flowers on the front, and I can see it that it's open. It's got her, because I know that this again is very important to her, is remembering everybody, keeping in contact with everybody. And I know that that is a lot of her role, is being in contact with all the family and keeping tabs on everybody. I feel like that is important to her. She would have written to a lot of her relatives as well. Do you understand this? Stayed in contact with them?
yes, she enjoyed writing.
Good. Okay. Fantastic. She is really making me feel like this is a life well lived. She is not moving into the spirit world regretting. Do you understand that? She's really, and I don't feel like she had the most exotic of lives, and she wasn't off doing, in this day and age, we think that to be living our best life, we need to be here, there, and everywhere and doing all this stuff. But there is just this feeling from her of, this was really, really good. This is what she wanted. Do you understand her being quite content with her life?
Yes, and she did actually, for the time, travel quite a bit.
A lot. Good. Because I just feel like she's got this moving into spirit. She wasn't afraid. Do you understand this? Because I feel this is really important. She feels like she's going to be reunited with people. Okay. And I feel like she's moving into spirit, but she's actually excited about seeing everybody again and those people she's been separate from. Does she have a son in spirit?
A daughter.
A daughter. Okay. Let me just feel into this. There is a male as well that she is acknowledging, that she was really excited to be reunited with. And she have a younger brother that was in spirit?
She did have brothers. I don't know if it's younger, but yes, they would have been
Okay.
in spirit.
I just feel like I'm moving down below her in age, which is normally a child. Obviously it isn't, but I just feel like she's excited to be catching up with people. I feel like she's excited to be with these people. I might have to make you do some family tree research, because I feel like her brother would have died quite a long time before her. And it feels like this is someone she's waited a long, long time, that she wants to see. It feels like there's something important there. So she didn't have a brother that died when they were children or anything like that?
I'm not 100% sure. I do know she had
Okay.
brothers, so
Okay. But you're very lucky. Bit of homework. Who doesn't love a big delve into the family tree
Absolutely.
after a mediumship evening? Because I just feel like she keeps reiterating that it was really exciting for her to be reunited with him, obviously with everyone as well, but that one is one that's really picking up with me. Okay. She brings a really wonderful, now obviously I can see from your name on Zoom that you do healing, but was she did she work in healing in some way? Did she have some, it's like she's got a load of not old wives' tales, old wives' remedies up her sleeve, where if you've got some sort of ailment, she'll give you this, that, and this, and it will fix it. Do you understand that with her?
She was a nurse, but she very much enjoyed that side of things as well. She wouldn't.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good, because I
come
just
up
feel
with
like
something.
yeah, like it's a bit random, but it works. And she's really, really adept at that healing work, because I know that she's just wanting to say that, she's with you on this healing journey that you're going on, where you're helping other people. And she continues to bring that energy in and support you through it. So don't be surprised if you want to end up branching into a more untraditional route, a different way of doing things, because it will be her inspiration working with you. You can follow the traditional path, but also be inspired with unexpected and different ways. And I feel like she brings that in. Does that make sense?
Yes, I'm doing the mediumship and psychic stuff as well, so it's all blending and going a bit unique.
Good. Fantastic. Phenomenal. Good. And you know that they all love you very, very much. So please know that you are supported as you continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hannah.
Let's have a little look who we're going to work with now. Okay, I'm aware of a gentleman stepping forward with me, and I do feel like this is husband, though my relationships are obviously slightly wonky ce soir. But I want to talk here about him passing very suddenly, and it does feel like it's a heart attack. So he's here 1 minute and gone the next. It's very, very sudden, very, very unexpected, very, very shocking. And I do feel like there is this, and he is gone. So there, I'm choking on the experience. There is this feeling here of surprise, unexpectedness. There is shock. I do not feel like he is elderly. I'm just going to drink some more water and cough. Bear with. Okay. Sometimes when that physical feeling hits, it hits really hard because I feel like there's this big lack of breath, this big, and then he is moving into spirit. It feels very, very shocking. Okay. So I need to talk here about him not expecting this. This is not where he thought he was going to end up. I want to talk here about missed plans, missed opportunities. He's frustrated from the spirit world because he had things that he wanted to do and he left things half done, and that is not how he liked to be. So there is definitely, excuse me, this shock. And I need to acknowledge here that there was nothing anybody could have done differently, because I'm not sure if I feel like there's nobody around or something like that. I feel like he is found after his passing and it's too late to do anything. And there's this real sense of, if only I'd gone home earlier, if only I'd been there, if only I'd done something, that he's wanting to acknowledge it wouldn't have made any difference, because he instantly moves into the spirit world. He's instantly in a place where he can't return from, even though he would have liked to. So that feels really, I think he's at home. There's this feeling of him being at home and being here and then not being here, and people being unable to help him. It just feels really horrendous. I want to talk about him having children, but they feel older children, so nearing adulthood, and this feeling of just they might even be adults, I think. There's this he can't believe it. He cannot believe that he's ended up in the spirit world. And I want to acknowledge here his wife, because it's been absolutely horrendous for her trying to pick up the pieces without him. It's like a boat without a sail. She has really, really struggled with that. And I know that the family have really gathered around her to make this support, this feeling of support. I also want to talk about him being really into his football. I feel that he would have really enjoyed supporting a football team, because I want to talk about that being connected with his funeral. There would have been a football theme or something to do with football at his funeral. Who am I with, please? Who recognises this lovely gent? Okay, Lee. Rob. Okay, Lee, you've already had a message, so just bear with me 1 sec. It would be unusual to get 2 for the same person. Rob, hi. Could you take yourself off mute for me, please?
Hi, can you hear me better now?
Yes, I can. Hi, Rob. How you doing?
Hiya.
Do you
Hiya.
understand everything I've said?
The only thing I didn't think with was obviously the husband side of
Okay.
things. But my grandfather passed very suddenly of a heart attack when he was young. I was only 6 at the time. And my grandmother, who is still alive now, it hit her extremely hard, as you can imagine. And her children, my mum and my mum's brothers and sisters, it hit them extremely hard. And it's been really tough, even though it was just over 30 years ago now. you know, it's been quite tough all round. It's brought
Yeah,
up a lot.
okay. Okay, Rob, thank you. Do you understand him leaving stuff half done, which I feel like he's really frustrated about?
It was extremely, from what I've been told, because my memories of him are very vague, due to my age, when he did pass. But he was very structured. He was very stern, not stern, but it was like, as he saw a task, he wanted to see it through, type of thing.
Yeah,
And
okay. You might need to check this then. Sorry, I don't know
yeah,
why I'm getting a night of giving everybody homework, but I feel like he was halfway through a project, like a DIY project or
okay.
building something in the house.
That's something, like I said, I can potentially look into for you.
Okay. I can see Lee really
However,
nodding him.
he he
Okay.
was he I know he was always doing things,
Okay.
so the
Okay.
chances are, then yes, maybe. If you want to speak to
Okay.
Lee, maybe she
I'm just
can
going to
do
double check in
something.
with Lee because I can see her frantically trying to get my attention
Yeah,
here. So let me
okay.
just get her off mute. Oh, I've just muted her. That worked well, didn't it? Hi.
Hi. I've got a strong feeling that this is not a message for me, but for a close friend. And before I came into this, it's just been the 1 year anniversary of Bruce's death, and I was talking to his wife, and she's just desperate for a sign from him. So I spoke to him before I came in and said, look, let's give us something, please. So everything you've said, I can totally take. I didn't want to because I know that I've already had a message, but I don't think it's for me. I think it's for Sasha.
Okay, bear with me one sec, guys. Then let me just feel into this and see what I can get. Right. Really interesting. He's taking me back to his passing. Do you understand, Lee, him being found at home? And it's
Yeah,
too late. He's already gone. Okay.
yeah.
Rob, do you understand that too?
Yes, my uncle, his son, found him sadly at home.
Okay. Bear with me one sec, because maybe they're just my inclination, which is really interesting, and I forgot to say this at the beginning, is often spirits will bring signs in the evidence and the evidence that they bring through to say hello to people. But I also know that they wouldn't put me in the situation of one sitter all night, not all night, but you know what I mean, getting double messages. Yeah. So my inclination, Lee, is that this is the intelligence of spirit, and that Rob's grandfather is working with your friend's husband to bring through the evidence that is relevant to both of you, because I do feel like I'm just with one spirit, and I do feel like I'm drawn to Rob. But
That's
when
fine.
I felt into that, and when I was talking to you, I also thought like, so I think it's a collaboration. So obviously this is being recorded, so your friend will be able to watch this and know that her husband has given her that sign that she's asked for.
That's
even
wonderful.
though he'll be working with Rob. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Okay, no worries. Rob, do you understand a watch that's been passed on?
I don't, I'm sorry.
Okay, here we go. Lee, do you understand a bloody watch? Kill me now.
Probably. I mean, he's probably passed that on to his son. He's got a just adult son. As you were saying, they were all almost adults.
Yeah. Okay, because I'm just really aware of a watch being put on my wrist that I have to acknowledge, so, and not on the one that I'm actually wearing a watch on. So we're going to play unusual ping pong then, aren't we? Right. I think they're really working together, and I still feel like I'm with Rob, because I know they're now showing me a wife that outlives them by many, many years. So that, you know, we haven't got to that point for your friend yet, where we have for Rob. She's still going strong, because there's just this feeling of being beside her and wanting to acknowledge being beside her through many, many years that I need to feel here. Do you understand with your grandmother, Rob? Is she on some has she got diabetes or some sort of medication where she's needing to have injections?
Not diabetes, but she's got quite a lot of things wrong with her at the minute.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing needle related, I don't think, but
Okay.
yeah, she's struggling a bit at the minute.
I'm definitely seeing needles, and I don't like giving blood or needles. So I normally faint on them, and they have to do it in a special way because it's so embarrassing. Because there's definitely blood tests, something going on with her. They're doing investigation. Do you understand that, Rob?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Because I'm seeing needles and lots of them,
Okay.
and I don't want to see that. That's not something I would invent because it's not my comfy space. So I just want to acknowledge that he's there. He's being there with her through all of this, because she doesn't like it either. I feel like it's a tough time for her at the moment, and he's wanting to acknowledge that he's still there. He's really standing with her, and that support that he's wanting to let you guys know. And I feel like this is, you've said to him, you better look after her. Are you around? And he's wanting to again answer, yeah, I am around. I'm with her. I'm there. Wanting you to know that he is around and present. Now, let me just see what he wants to. Do you understand her living in their home for a long time after he passes?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just feel like it feels like it didn't change for a long time. It just felt like it was exactly how he left it. And he was just there beside her while she was in there. And I also want to talk about the family really supporting her, because I feel like she's needed some help or assistance. And I feel like the family have been gathering around in love for her.
Yeah, to be honest, my mother, when I was in my late teens, we all moved in with her to help her.
Okay.
She went through a bit of a rough time with some illness, and me personally, I'm extremely close with her. There were one evening when somebody stole her car, and I went over and stopped with her for a day or two. And yeah, it's like everybody sort of mutts in to help me.
Good. Yeah, it just feels
Yeah.
like he's really proud of how everybody has loved her so well and taken care of her so well. It's made him really, really happy. And he's just wanting to acknowledge that he's been doing his part from the spirit world, but he's so glad that you guys have supported her here. Now, this isn't his first rodeo of coming through either, is it? He's been through to you many times. Is that right?
He has a medium who I was with about 15 years ago now, is when he first came through to me. And I feel he's been trying to communicate with me a little bit recently on a personal level, as I've been asking a lot of questions, if you like, through meditation, and I've been getting frustrated. So.
Yeah, I feel like he's working in that kind of almost guide energy for you, of helping you on your journey. Obviously, I know that you were in my spiritual development circle the other day, so I know you're spiritually developing. Don't have to be psychic to work that one out. But I do feel like he's wanting you to know that he's there and encouraging you along that path. And look for the answers in unexpected places. Don't expect the answers to come straight in there and then. Know that spirit and he are bringing the answers to you bit by bit in your life. So the answers that you seek, it's almost like you're getting frustrated in the moment because you're trying to hear it then. But actually just know that that request has been heard, and it will unfold in the days and weeks ahead.
Yeah, I get that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Lovely. Okay, I'll try to do one more quick one. No worries. Thank you, Rob. Let me just have a little look and see who I can get through here. Okay, I have got a little baby boy here, and I do feel like this little boy does take a breath on the earth plane, but passes shortly after his birth. So I know that he is here for a little while, but he is unwell from birth until he moves into spirit. So he tries to stay, but there is this feeling here of needing support machinery to keep him going that I need to acknowledge. And I want to talk about this being fairly recent. So I do feel like his mother is, I think she might be expecting another baby. So there's this little boy who's moved into spirit after really fighting and trying to stay here and being really, really brave. But I know that he has also sent a sibling to Earth to take his place, and he is playing a part in that. So this all feels quite recent, quite sudden. I feel that he would have had some sort of surgery or something like that following his birth. I think we knew it was going to be a problem before he was born or as he's being born, but I'm also aware that they really, really tried, and he tried to be really strong and brave, but I know that he was unable to stay, even though he's really, really loved. This just feels absolutely devastating. I know that he is really, he was so wanted, he is so loved. And I do want to talk about a connection with the name Ben. So I'm not sure if that's his name or someone around him. It would be someone close, but I'm aware of that feeling of him being so wanted, being so loved, being so cared for, and then being unable to stay. But I do also feel like he's sent a baby following him, but I'm not sure that baby's been born yet. Who am I with? Who understands this, please? It's definitely here for someone. Okay. Binky. Hey Binks, how you doing?
Hey, good. I mean, I'm a maybe. I don't recognize everything. It wasn't recent, and there isn't another baby that I know of, but my cousin passed when he was very little, and he was poorly, had a heart problem, and he had Down syndrome. And he was, yeah, everyone absolutely adored him. But yeah, not sure about some parts, so I'm a maybe.
Okay, let me have a look then. If I can't change that he sent another baby. I can't change it. I don't want to ruin someone's pregnancy announcement. If they do it, just act really surprised for me, Binky, because normally when I'm wrong and I go back into something, I'm like, "What's that?" And they go, "I don't know. You made it up." And I go, "Oops." But he's really, really insistent about it. He's really, really insistent that he has sent another baby. So maybe it's a surprise that I'm ruining. Because I can really see that. Okay, let me just feel into this then. Really loved, really wanted. Do you understand him being laid to rest in like pajamas or really soft clothes? I feel like it's really important that his clothes are soft.
I don't know whether to say or not. He was buried in a pod, like an eco pod that was like soft material, like biodegradable material. I don't know what clothes he was buried in.
Okay. It just feels like he's been really like wrapped in softness. That is how it's feeling to me. Like he's showing me the care and the attention and the love, because I know how loved he is. Let me just feel into this. Right, so I know you've said ecopod, but has he also got an like a memorial area or something that's done in memory of him?
There was a tree.
Okay.
Planted a
And
tree.
has that has that tree got a teddy bear by it or hung on it?
I don't
Do
know.
you know?
I haven't been since the funeral, which was a long time ago. So maybe, I don't know.
Okay. Bear with me, Binky, because normally they wouldn't bring through this much stuff that you're not aware of, if you know what I mean, because
Yeah.
we're dealing with an intelligence. So I just want to see if anyone else can understand this. I've got this little boy who, yeah, it feels like he has some sort of surgery. He tries to stay. He's really brave, but he's unable to. But it does feel more recent to me. It does feel recent. And I do want to talk about him, like being put in a really, really soft pajamas, baby grow, something like that when he's laid to rest. This feels really important. I want to talk about him. He's so loved. I know that he tries to stay. I do feel like he's quite tiny when he moves into spirit. Yeah, I can see all of these things. And I feel like there is a. So Brittany's got her hand up. We're having a night of interesting experiments, aren't we? Go on, Brittany. Can you unmute?
So,
Hi.
hi. So this was, well, my son is 10, but I had a miscarriage before him and it was a boy, but he, like he wasn't enough to be buried in anything, but I have like a memorial thing for him, but it's not a teddy bear, but it's like a mom and a baby like cuddling.
Oh,
I forget, you said something else that rang a bell. I mean, it might not be me either, but
yeah, no, thank you, but I don't feel like it is. This feels like a little baby that is held and loved and operated on, and family really try to get him to stay. He fights and he fights. If love could have held him here, he would have stayed here. He's I want to talk about him being tiny. I don't know if he's prem or something like that, but he feels really, really small when I'm holding him, but I can hold him. He is a little baby.
okay.
Thank you, Brittany. And I just feel like he's really, really insistent that somebody it will make sense to later, because I have to say in honesty I can't change any of it, and if I'm wrong I can normally feel it and I feel like I'm in my power. So I've got this little baby, tries to stay, moves into spirit, he's operated on, he's tubed up, he's in an incubator, that kind of stuff. He just doesn't make it. There is a connection with the name Ben. There is this, yeah, he's laid to rest in softness, in comfort, in coziness. It's really important that that he's not scratched, that the clothes are soft. I feel like this is it's a really important thing that I have to keep acknowledging, that is that he's fought and it's been so hard and there's been tubes and pressings and this and that, and now he is just in softness, and I feel like I need to acknowledge that. And I do feel like there is, where he's been laid to rest, there is an area which is visited and loved and cared for by his mum, who is there and buying things for him and laying things there for him. And I have to acknowledge that. And I do have to acknowledge that she is expecting again. And this feels very clear to me. So when it pops into your head later and you go, oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot, because that is what happens. Just please know that he's come through. He just wants to say that he's around. He just wants to say that he is sent. And I don't want to spoil or anything, but I really feel like she's expecting a girl. And hopefully they know. And because he keeps saying like he's sent his sister, he's going to be with his sister. There's just this feeling of being aware of that and being part of their life continued that I need to acknowledge. He knows how loved he was, and if love could have kept him here, he would have stayed. There we go. Well, thank you all very much for being so lovely and supportive this evening. I really, really appreciate you. We're normally a little bit quicker than that, but I think I'm a bit working on Zoom again after working in person. It's a completely different energy, but I hope to be doing some more of these. So I would love to see you at another one. And thank you all so much for being so wonderful. Have a lovely day, and I will catch up with you all again soon. Take care.